Hi everybody, how are you? Yep, I look like crap and I don't care. Anyway, so let's address the elephant in the room. Me. Kidding. No, I'm not. Actually, okay, so I just want to let's have this different kind of conversation today. So, and yeah, I look like butt and I don't care. So, Jackie Aina and the situation going on with her continues. I want to say this. So right now she's trying to deflect everything like what she did to Paige. And she's like saying, why aren't you calling out Jeffree Star? Which people did call out Jeffree Star. There were several videos made, things like that. Even when the newest allegations started, all the drama channels were on top of that also. So it was addressed. It's not like everybody stayed silent, didn't say anything about it, because no, that's not true. It was addressed and people are going to feel the way that they're going to feel. Now let's address myself. Okay, because not my last video, the video before that, I said a word that was very offensive, okay? However, there's no excuse for it, and I'm not making one, okay? I said something offensive, and I'm going to own it. I'm not going to deflect. I'm not going to sit here and make this huge, I'm sorry video that doesn't come out truthful. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to learn from it is what I'm going to do, and which I have. I have learned from it. That video is still getting a lot of comments right now, and I am, I have read every single solitary comment, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I learned from those comments. A lot of the comments were, you don't know white privilege, and I'm thinking to myself, as I keep seeing all these comments, I'm like, well, maybe I don't. So I went and I looked and I found this amazing video of this girl and she only has 23 subscribers. So I'm probably going to link her channel. I did put it on my Twitter saying it was the best video that I ever seen explaining what white privilege is. And she even explained, what token meant and things like that. Things that I didn't know what it means. So I have my own ignorance to blame for that. And I was ignorant. I did not know. And now I do. And also the, word that I said, unfortunately, is commonly used here. So I didn't think anything of it. Again, my ignorance. What have I done? I've learned from it. I've learned that it was wrong. If I can sit there and I can call myself out and say, okay, everybody's saying this, they're probably right. Read the comments. Say, okay, well, maybe they are right. And I'm going to look into, making myself a better person because I needed to educate myself. And I did. I looked up, I did the research, I watched the videos, I did, things online. I looked up things online to see, and I educated myself. And a word that I said was offensive. And, for that, I apologize. But it's my ignorance. I didn't know because people here say it like it's nothing. Because here, if you say the word, black people, that is extremely offensive, okay? Because it's not liked at all. And so sometimes that is what people will say. Even the African Americans will say that word. So that's why I'm like, so my confusion, my bad. But the first thing that I needed to do was educate myself on what white privilege really is. So I looked at it, and that's why when people watch my videos, if they dislike it, that's fine, because I'm a person that needs to learn and grow. And just because I'm 43 years old don't mean you can't teach an old dog new tricks, because I need to learn, okay? And if I'm going to have a platform, I need to, educate myself, and I need to call myself out on what I do is wrong just as much as if I say somebody else does something's wrong. Because if I can't even call my own damn self out, then what the hell am I here for? You can't, throw stones at glass windows. If you're doing something wrong, or if you say something wrong, you need to own it. You need to see why it was wrong, and you need to correct it. That's what you need to do. That's how simple it is. That's my husband's phone going badonka-donk. I don't know why. But that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to educate myself and I wanted to correct myself. And that is my, you know, plan of what I want to be as somebody on YouTube. No, I'm not big. I'm not huge. But that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean just because I'm not a big influencer that I can't take the proper steps into making sure that what I do and say is appropriate and is just nice, you know, or is, again, I needed to check myself. And I did that. And I hope you guys understand. And I thank you for, again, pointing out my shit. And I will always take every single comment. And I don't care if it's negative or positive. Because if we sit there and we just dismiss all these negative comments, just like, whatever, you're not learning anything. They're saying something well, there are trolls. Let's not get it twisted. There are trolls. You know, there's some that it's just like, yeah, you know, whatever. But when people leave you negative comments, sometimes it's just they're angry and they're frustrating and they want to be heard because they want their side of the story or they want their feelings to be heard. And everybody has an absolute right to that. And that is why I read everything. So I just wanted to clear that elephant in the room. Now let's talk about Jackie Aina and her deflecting. So what she's doing is what I had to teach myself, which is something I don't want to do. I'm not going to say, well, I said something negative, but let me deflect it on what this person did. No, own your shit. Own it. And I seen Ashley Kyle's video also. I seen a couple of them today. Viewer's Voice, Ashley Kyle. I seen Rich Lux. I'll hit that in a second. But she is deflecting. Well, look at Jeffree Star. Yes, look at him, but we're not talking about him. He's a separate person. He's not the one at that particular moment that made that tweet. And then when people were worried or, you know, saying to her, why aren't you calling out, you know, Jared? Why aren't you calling him out? And her response is, well, I don't have to take care of everything on social media. Well, no, you don't, but you had the balls enough to go on your social media and say all white people are rude. You had the balls to do that, but you don't want to address Two-Faced on social media? I'm confused. Because if you have the balls to make this big blanket statement saying that white people are rude, whether it's a joke or not, and if that's how she feels, that's fine. You're entitled to feel any way you want to, okay? It's not my business to say what you feel and what you don't. That's not my thing. But what I'm saying is if you're going to make that big blanket statement about generalized white people, but you can't come out in the open and fight against what Jared and the, you know, Rich Lives Matter. You can't do that, right? So that's where I'm confused. And then what she did to Paige, you know, she sent like a little, that apology was nothing. What if Paige and her husband lost their job? I mean, could you imagine? How would she recover from that? How hard would it be to recover from losing your job by getting damning allegations that you hacked and you stole from somebody? How would she ever like try to regain her life, her job, her income, her quality of life, her life? And you think a little like side note, oh, I'm sorry, if you want to talk about this privately, we'll talk about it. You publicly humiliated her. You publicly accused her of a crime that she could have damn well lost her job and her everything over. And that's how it's not enough. Something like that is not enough. If I ever did something that could have done something like that to somebody, I would own the hell out of it. And I would have to come out here and say, man, I was wrong. But that's just me. Okay, that's me. I want to say in Jackie Aina's pretense is she is extremely feeling entitled. The world doesn't owe us shit. You know, sorry for this camera. But the world owes us nothing. It doesn't owe us shit. It's up to us to make, you know, our lives what we want them to be. But Jackie has this thing like everybody owes her something, like the world owes her. The world better bow down to her, like she's all that in a bag of chips, and it's just not. And that's where her problem is she's so far up on her high horse thinking that looking down at everybody, she's not seeing the real picture, that she's just a person like the rest of us. Yes, she may be more successful, congratulations, but you know what? The little people in life matter just as much. Like that person that's taking your order at McDonald's matters just as much as you. You know, everybody matters. And, you know, so stop looking down at people like they're like little ants in your parade, because that's what she comes across like, and that's just very rude and ignorant. You know, none of us are better than anybody. You know, each person and what they do in life is critical to life. You know, every job that somebody does is important, no matter what it is, whether you're a dog walker, whether you work at McDonald's, whether you work in healthcare, whether you work in a beauty industry, whether you're a lawyer, anything, everything matters, because you're playing a role in society. You're an active person in society, and you make an impact on no matter what it is that you do. And that's the statement that I would like to make about this whole situation, because it's just getting ridiculous. And I do want to say, I give a damn good hats off to Rich Lux, because, well, you know that man's the bomb anyway. Bitch, the bomb anyway. But he actually said it on his channel, which to me was amazing. And if that would have been Jeffree Star that tweeted that in a different way, obviously, y'all know what I mean, it would have been a shit show. It would have went, oh my goodness. It would have been, they would have been calling the troops. It would have been horrible. It would have been horrifying. His career would have been over, ended, done. So why is it that Jackie gets a pass for saying something like that, when if it was somebody else that said it, yeah. I mean, that's the problem that I'm having. Like, I'd like an answer to that. And I would like Jackie to answer that. Like, if that was somebody else that made that type of blanket statement, what would have happened? You know, I'd like to see Jackie answer that question. Because I don't think anybody should make any kind of, you know, remarks about any particular race, no matter what it is. You know, there's so many different races, and it's not only about race, guys. And like I said in a couple of my tweets, it's not just about race. People are, you know, there's religious issues that people feel if you're a certain type of religion, they judge you, or people that are disabled, you know, struggle and fight all the time. It's not just a race issue. There's issues in all walks of life. And we need to be mindful of that. It's not like everybody just wakes up, you know, with a, you know, sunshine and rainbows. Everybody has their own faults. Everybody has their own fights and their own battles. Even people that are overweight struggle, you know, they're shamed and called names and automatically assume that they eat like slobs, you know, because I face that. You know, I'm overweight now, but as 300 pounds, everyone's just assuming that I eat like a large pizza and 4 tacos every night. And that's not the case. It was never the case. You know, but there's so many different instances of life that need to just stop. And I'm hoping going forward in 2019 that, you know, I'm just one little person. I like to advocate for everybody, no matter what it is, because we all deserve a fair shot at life. We all deserve a helping hand. We all deserve to be loved by somebody. And I just think that needs to happen, is all the shenanigans and bullshit just needs to stop, and everyone just needs to like hug it out or something. I don't know. But I did want to address my own fault and my own thing and call myself out on my own shit. I ain't gonna sugarcoat my damn self at all. You know, I needed to learn a damn lesson, and I needed to do the right thing, and I needed to go through and say, okay, well, if everyone's saying it, it must be true, and let me go through and see what the hell this shit is. So I've been schooled, and I admit it. Kisses to you all.